Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on another pair of mushroom earrings, but these are going to be inside a hoop, and then we're also going to make a pendant to match. Well, if we have time, but hopefully we will. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, we have a couple of wires. We have a couple of mushrooms, have a couple of those really pretty green, I don't know why I don't have these cut apart. We're only using one for each side. And this little chain does not really accept any wire. It's very thin. So we have one for each of those. And what we're going to do is we're going to string these up like this with this as our dangle. We're going to have our pieces like we had on our others with these below and one little daisy spacer above, and we're going to hang them on these beautiful posts here, and these little are all for putting things together. So we're going to get some 4-inch pieces of this flat wire, and I'm going to cut this flush on the end here. So we'll need 3 4-inch flat wire pieces, and we need 3 because one's for the pendant, 2 for the earrings. So I'll just cut this. Then this piece is fine. We're going to get another couple of 4-inch pieces off. But of course, first we want to cut that flush here. Put these together so they match up. Then we'll take our flush cutters and go right to the end of that and cut that one off. Now again, we're going to take our wire and we're going to cut that flush, take one of these pieces, butt it up to the other one, and cut that off. And that should be all the wire we need. And we'll put one of these pieces of wire over here with the pieces I have saved out for our necklace. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to form these, or we could put these onto this first. Let's see what we want to do first. We're not going to be putting it together, though. We're just going to put our mushrooms onto our line, our wires here. So one small daisy spacer, the large rope spacer, the mushroom, and the small daisy spacer. Now we're going to, I think this will go through this little wire right here. Yes, it will. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this baby, and it looks like it's a wee bit crooked, but we're going to bend it over. I don't want a really big bunch, so we're just going to bend it slightly. We're going to do the same with the other. Come here, you. And bend it over. Now we're going to get our stepped bell making pliers. We're going to use the smallest step. Up and over and around. Bring her down and over. Leave a slight gap. This one doesn't need a big gap because, let's face it, that chain is pretty darn thin. That's through these. So we just need her to go on. And we will grab this loop here where the two pieces come together, push them together, take our next pair of pliers, or fingers if that's what you prefer to use, and wrap this baby up. Now it probably will only take 3 wraps, maybe a little more, but I don't really think it will because I made my gap there pretty small. So then we'll get out our cutters. Well, I've got that in an odd spot. Cut that off and tuck it in. Come on, tuck. So there is our little dangle piece here. I'm not sure if we'll need any chain or not, so we will not go any further with this until we have our loop made. Anyway, so now we want to do the same with this one. So it goes into our smallest is up top, up and over and around. Bring it down, bring it around. Lollipop. I did leave it a small gap. We'll put this pretty green bead onto here. Grab this right here and wrap her up. Now you'll notice that these look pretty similar to the brown ones we made on Monday. That's because we're using the same chain and we're using a mushroom, though we're not using the same mushroom. The other one was brown. This one is teal. Now we've cut that off and we need to tuck it in. Now I left a pretty big tail here because I noticed there was a bit of a gap, so I want to fill that in some. So oh, come on, baby, tuck. There we go. Now we need to see how straight our pieces are. This one's leaning a little backwards, so I'm going to put my pliers in right here in the circle, put my thumbnail right across the edge, and bring her forward just a touch. But she's also leaning back a bit, so we'll hold this side with the pliers, and we're going to move it back. We're going to move it forward just a hair's breadth. So there we go. Now I didn't check this one. Let's do that with this one. This one is also bending backwards just a touch, so we'll hold it and take our pliers and bring her forward just a little bit. So there she is. So those 2 pieces are now done. Now we could also have done the one for the pendant at the same time, but we'll do it later. So as you can see, there's a bunch of jump rings here, as well as our posts. And we have our 2 wires here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much straighten these up. And then we're going to get our wire mandrel out. I'm going to put this on the second one here, though I might just need it on the next one up still. There we go. Again, on that second one, bring it around. So there's the 2. Now, the thing is, how is this going to sit in here? And it might actually even dangle over the edge some, because we do still have to put our loops in. So let's get our loops on here. I'm just going to use my small loop again, because all we need it for is to hang our jump rings on. So around she goes. Come on, baby, all the way. There we go. There's the one. Now we need to do the second one. Oops, I hate that when they snap off your pliers, don't you? There we go, there's number 2. Now, we're going to get our mandrel back out, and we're going to go up to 3 now, because now we have those loops in there, so it's going to be tighter, and they're not even. We need to even them out some here. So, there's that one. And we're at number 3. So we'll bring her up, and they should be about the same now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to push these things back. We're going to get out our steel block. We're going to put these on here, and we're going to get our chasing hammer out. And we're going to flatten these. Now, if you don't want the mushroom to hang out, you could have always made I'm going to texture them a little bit. And to do that, just take the other side of your hammer, which has the ball peen side, and or if you would prefer, you can always get something else to texture it with. Okay, there's the one. And we'll have to see if we need to make any changes to that after we get it in. But as you can see, when we hook up our mushroom, it is going to hang off this side some. And that's fine. Like I said, if you wanted the mushroom entirely enclosed in there, you could have made got a bigger piece of wire. These are 4 inches that I got. If you had wanted bigger, you could have made it like... you could have got like some 5 or 6 inches. So it's just a matter of preference. So let's get this one done. Now I will warn you that hammering it is going to change its shape a little. See, this one's got one loop up higher than the other one. And we'll fix that later. We're going to texture. Be careful of your fingers. I have smashed mine before. It does not feel good. But my original plan was to have the mushroom inside the loop instead of hanging out any, so I should have cut a little bit extra wire. But since I didn't, and I'm not going to worry about it now. So now we have to get our loops back into shape. As you can see, this one has opened a little bit, so we're going to have to close that up. And we have to get them about the same again. So the one is a little bigger. As you can see, that one looks to be a tiny bit bigger than this one. But I'm not going to worry about it atrociously, because if people are getting close enough to your ears to see that that is off this little tiny bit here, they're too close to you. But if you don't want it to be smaller, you can get in here with your flush cutters and cut just a teensy weensy touch off of your loop. Now this loop is a little higher, so I'm not too worried about twisting it down some. Let's see if that was enough. It still looks to be a little bit off. It's this one that's off a little bit, so we'll take a teeny touch more off on this side and bring this loop in now. Now again, see, they're off-sided again, so I'm going to have to push them till I get them better. Now let's see how they're doing here. Wow, it's still bigger. How weird. But it's not. And it's this one still over on this side, it looks like. So we'll take off just a teeny bit more again. Now, as you can see, I'm just taking tiny increments off at once. I don't want to take a whole bunch off and then discover that I have taken too much off and have to cut the other one. So let's see how we're doing here now. Still a little bigger, but barely any. So we're not going to worry about it anymore. These two are done. We'll put our still block away until we get to putting our pendant together. So what we're going to do now is we have our posts and our pieces here and our mushrooms. Our mushroom is going to hang like here in here, so it's probably going to hang out just a hair's breadth like that. And that's fine. So what we need to do is get our 2 pair of pliers. Let's put these sort of aside so I don't, because I'm not going to need them till we're ready to work on our necklace. So we want to get our jump rings. So we get 2 jump rings per earring to start with. Well, technically 3, because we need to put one on our mushroom. So one here. And now we're going to put one on the other loop. Now I've got 2 little tinky tots in here. The tinky tots are for going on our little bead here. Make sure you get it closed up good and tight, because you've got that little thin wire going into here. So you want to have it tight here. So make sure that you've got it tightened pretty good right there. Looks like it is. Now we're going to take a third one of our jump rings here. open that up. I'm going to drop these down, and we're going to hook this one on, then our little tinky tot, and then this one. Drop it down so it goes on. Now, we'll need another one. I forgot that because we're putting on posts instead of ear wires, we need a jump ring to go for our ear wire, because the hole for our ear wire is going this way as opposed to the other way. So what we're going to do is grab one more of these. Looks like we have enough there anyway. Open it up, and then we're going to get that center one there that we've got everything hooked to. Come here, you. We got to get it in the middle of it, between the side ones. Come on. It would have been easier if I'd done it right all at once, but I didn't. So there we go. We got that. Now we go through our ear wire. Or, well, this is a post. Close this baby up. And you see this is bagging a little bit, so I'm going to fix that. Because one of my peeves is not getting my jump rings closed quite well enough. So we'll make sure that's done. Oop, slipped. There we go. And there is our earring finished. Now, if you felt that this was too big, you could always use a smaller one. I do have smaller ones that would have been fine. I just like this little donut-y like one. And like I say, if you want the mushroom enclosed in your loop, just cut some more wire. Probably another inch would do it. So this is 4, so 5 would do it. And if you're going to use an ear wire as opposed to a post, you don't need this jump ring. You just hook your ear wire right to that your middle jump ring. So there's number 1 done. Now we just need to put number 2 together. So we'll get the tinky tot. And that goes through that little tiny chain, remember? So we have to make sure we get it closed all the way after we get it on here. Okay, I heard the telltale little scrape where they come together. So that was done. Now we'll get our jump rings here. Put it on this side. The other side. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different than we did last time, and that is I'm going to take the jump ring for the ear stud, and I'm going to put it on now. And then we'll close that up. Now we're going to put it all together at once. So we'll take the one jump ring for hooking them all together. Open it up, drop these down, first one on, then our tinky tot with our pretty dangle, drop it down again, and that one's not quite closed. I have to close that later. And now we can also put on our ear stud. Boop, don't fall out, go over here. and then close this baby up. Now I noticed that this one was bagged open just a touch, see there? So we'll swoosh that back together. And this one is now done. Get over there where you belong, little one. So there's the earrings. Aren't those pretty? So now that we've got the earrings done, let's work on the pendant. Put these over to the side so they're not in our way. And here's the pendant pieces. And Rory says hi. So we're going to make our little dangle piece first, just like we did the other one. So we've got all our pieces on, so we want to do our bend here. Get our bell making plier. Go in here, up and around the top, bring it down, bring her around, make sure she's sort of lollipopped, and that you have a little bit of gap here. I don't think I have any, so I'll stuff my thumbnail in to gap it. This is a magnetic clasp for our necklace, which is trying to grab hold of things. So through that teeny weeny loop, now we'll get our 2 pair pliers, push our loop back together. Now I've got this on the opposite side of where I normally work, but that's all right. So then we'll wrap this baby up. Trim it off. And squish her in. So here is this piece. Now, while I'm at it, I think I'm just going to put my Tinky Tot on the other end there. And it'll be all ready to go once it's ready to get put together. So on it goes. Close it. And it's ready to hang right here. Now we need to make our loop with our wire here. So let's get this straightened up. Get our wire mandrel out. It's going on 2, over and around. Get our bell making plier, make our loop, and now we're going to get our steel block back out. Move these aside, we don't want to accidentally crunch them. And our hammer, and we're going to start hammering this piece. Ouch, got the edge of my finger there. Now I'm not going to bother to compare this one to those because, well, for one thing, it's the pendant. It doesn't have to be exactly the same size. And we'd never know anyway. And so I'm going to now texture. Flip it, texture the other side. We don't want to do that, do we? So now we're done with this. Put these things away. We want to get our bell makers out. Check our circles. Now we'll get our wire mandrel back out and go into 3 instead of 2. Bring her up and around. There we go. Squish that baby onto there so she's in the shape you want her. Okay, there's our piece for our necklace, and I see that it's bent down a little bit, so let's see if we can get that to straighten some. There we go. I don't think we need these pliers anymore, so we'll put those up. In fact, we don't need any of our cutters anymore either, so we'll move those as well. Get them out of our way. And we shouldn't need our mandrel. So all the tools put away, except for our pliers, because that's what's next. So we're going to do this just like we did. This is a big bell. It will slide, these will slide right through it, but it's just going to be that way. Unless I decide to go see if I can find me a smaller bell. But right now I am just going to put my jump rings on everything. So jump ring here, close it up. Next one. So go through here. Then our dangle, then drop this down. Now I drop it down like that because, and one of these, I drop it down like that because if you don't get them going the right direction, they will kink up on you something fierce. Close this baby up. Now here is the pendant piece. I just have to hook it to the bail. Oh, come here, you. This is my jump ring that's going to hook things together here. So, and we're going to hook it on here and put some chain. Unless I decide I need a smaller or a smaller bail. Let's go see if I can find something a little bit smaller than this. A slightly different bell. Even though I love this bell, it is pretty wide, as you can see, and our magnetic clasp will go through it. So we don't want it to lose our pendant piece. So this one is a little smaller. As you can see, it won't go through, but the chain will. So since I want this to be about 18 inches, I don't want an extremely long necklace. We could make it a little bit longer than that, maybe 19. I'm going to open this up now, grab hold of this jump ring, and hook it onto the bail. Close it up. Now this baby is ready to go on its chain. So we're going to cut some chain. I said I wasn't going to need those cutters anymore, didn't I? Lied. I lied. Because I do need the cutters, I need to cut our chain. So we're going to go, I'm going to cut, 18, 19 inches. There's 12. That looks good. Come on, where's my clippers at? Where'd I put them? And we can put our chain away so it's not getting in our way. Now we'll just take our 2 jump rings I had out here. Where did I put the other one? Oh, it's right here. And even though this magnet is very tiny, it's extremely strong. So I do tell people when they go to open them to slide them sideways. So we'll open this baby up. Hook the chain over here, and then our magnet. And close it up. Let go of the pliers magnet. Okay. Now we'll feed it through the chain through our bail. And then we'll open our other jump ring. Stick this bell to the side so it's not in our way. Through our chain link, through the other side of our magnet, and close this side up. Let go, let go. And there is our necklace. Now, like I say, this is extremely strong. See how that works? You need to push it sideways to let it release. So there is our little pendant. Come over here to this side, little one. There's our pendant and our earrings to match. Now I am probably going to change these earring backs. Because I prefer this kind with the little silicone around the stopper. So we'll switch those out. And now our set is all finished. Aren't those pretty? Here we go. Here is our necklace with our little mushroom. And why is that hanging sideways like that? It shouldn't be. Because I didn't need that last jump ring. I'm going to take that last jump ring out really quickly and close this up. I put a jump ring in already, the extra jump ring, and didn't even think about it. So we take that one out, open up this one, put it on the bail, and close it back up. There we go. Now she's hanging properly. Go over to that side. So there is the necklace. It's just a short necklace, about 18, 19 inches. And then here are our earrings. About so long. Aren't those pretty? This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we have been making these beautiful mushroom and loop earrings and necklace with objects from my stash. You can make earrings like this with any charm down the middle, and just make the little loop and put any charm down the middle to suit yourself. I think they are a beautiful pair of earrings. I like them a lot. And the pendant matches so well. Well, of course it does, because they're exactly alike, except for the, see. There we go. Pendant and one of the earrings anyway. Again, this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.